In 2025, the Federal Reserve reported something that sounds okay at first, but becomes uncomfortable when you look closer. About 73% of U.S. adults said they were doing okay financially or living comfortably. But in the same report, only 63% said they could cover a $400 emergency using cash, savings, or a credit card they could pay off right away. That means more than one-third of adults could not handle a $400 surprise without some kind of financial strain. And Bankrate's 2026 Emergency Savings Report found that only 30% of people would use savings to pay for a major unexpected expense, like a $1,000 emergency room visit or car repair. So here is the uncomfortable question. How can millions of people feel like they are doing okay while still being one emergency away from stress? That is the hidden problem with money. Most people do not realize they are financially fragile when everything is normal. They realize it when life interrupts the plan, when the car breaks down, when rent increases, when a medical bill appears, when the job suddenly feels uncertain. And the painful part is this: financial stress is rarely created in one dramatic moment. It is usually built quietly, one lifestyle upgrade at a time, one ignored credit card balance at a time, one delayed investment at a time, and one decision to look successful instead of becoming stable. A lot of people spend years thinking, once I make more money, everything will finally be okay. But then the income grows and the stress stays. The paycheck gets bigger, but so do the payments. The lifestyle improves, but the freedom disappears. And that is when people finally learn the money lesson they should have learned much earlier. Money is not just about how much you make, it's about how much control you have over your life. Because if every dollar already has a job before it reaches you, if every paycheck is already promised to debt, bills, upgrades, and appearances, then you may be earning money, but you are not building freedom. So in this video, we are going to talk about the money lesson most people learn too late, not because they are lazy, not because they are stupid, but because nobody teaches people the true cost of living without a financial foundation. And once you understand this lesson early enough, you can start making different choices that may not look exciting today, but can completely change the way your future feels. And before we get into the lessons, I want you to think about your own money habits while watching this, not to judge yourself, but to notice the patterns, because sometimes one honest realization can save you years of financial stress. And if this kind of simple money breakdown helps you understand money more clearly, you can like, subscribe, and keep learning with the Money Canvas. Now let's start with the first lesson most people learn too late. Lesson 1. More income does not automatically mean more freedom. A lot of people believe their financial life will finally improve once they earn more money. And to be fair, income matters. If somebody is barely surviving, higher income can absolutely change their life. It can make food, housing, transportation, healthcare, and basic stability easier. So this is not about pretending income is unimportant. It is important. But here is the trap. More income does not automatically create more freedom. Because if your spending grows at the same speed as your income, you are not actually escaping financial pressure. You're just upgrading the pressure. This is why some people can double their income and still feel broke. A raise becomes a bigger apartment. A bonus becomes a vacation. A promotion becomes a car loan. A higher salary becomes permission to stop paying attention. And before they know it, the new income disappears into a more expensive version of the same stress. This is called lifestyle inflation. And it is one of the quietest wealth killers because it does not feel like a mistake when it is happening. It feels normal. It feels deserved. It feels like progress. Someone thinks, I work hard. I should enjoy my money. And that is not wrong. You should enjoy your money. But there is a difference between enjoying money and becoming dependent on a lifestyle you cannot actually afford to pause. Because once your fixed expenses rise too high, your life becomes less flexible. You need the job. You need the overtime. You need the next paycheck. You need everything to keep going perfectly. And when life requires everything to go perfectly, that is not freedom, that is fragility.
The people who build real financial stability usually do something less exciting. When their income rises, they do not immediately upgrade everything. They first upgrade their foundation. They pay down expensive debt. They build emergency savings. They invest more. They increase their financial margin. They buy breathing room. And only after that do they increase their lifestyle carefully. That is not as flashy as buying something new, but years later it matters far more, because wealth is not only measured by what you can buy, it is measured by what you can survive without panic.
Lesson 2. Your habits matter more than your intentions. Most people have good intentions with money. Very few people wake up and say, "Today, I want to destroy my financial future." Nobody plans to become overwhelmed by debt. Nobody plans to live paycheck to paycheck forever. Nobody plans to reach middle age and feel behind. But money problems do not always come from one huge, reckless decision. Often they come from repeated habits that feel harmless in the moment. A little extra spending here, a small payment there, a subscription you forgot about, a credit card balance you promised to handle next month, a lifestyle upgrade you convince yourself is reasonable, a decision to delay saving because life feels expensive right now. The problem is that your future does not respond to your intentions. It responds to your habits. You may intend to save, but if you never create a system for saving, nothing changes. You may intend to invest, but if you wait for the perfect moment, years pass. You may intend to stop overspending, but if every emotional week turns into shopping, food delivery, or impulse purchases, the pattern continues. And this is why personal finance is not just math. It is behavior. It is emotion. It is identity. It is pressure. It is boredom. It is comparison. It is how you react when you are tired, stressed, lonely, excited, or insecure. A budget is not just a spreadsheet. A budget is a mirror. It shows what your life is actually prioritizing. And sometimes that can be uncomfortable, because you may discover that your money is not going toward your future. It is going toward convenience, distraction, image, impulse, or emotional relief. That does not mean you are bad with money. It means you are human. But becoming financially stronger requires you to stop judging your intentions and start studying your patterns. Where does money leak out every month? What purchases do you regret after the excitement fades? What bills keep trapping your paycheck before it even arrives? What spending decisions are really about stress, comparison, or wanting to feel in control for a moment? The lesson is simple, but powerful. Your financial future is not built by what you occasionally plan to do. It is built by what you repeatedly do.
Lesson 3. Most people build a lifestyle before they build a foundation. This is one of the biggest mistakes people make with money. They build the visible part of success first: the nicer phone, the better clothes, the new car, the upgraded apartment, the expensive weekends, the lifestyle that looks like progress from the outside. But underneath it, there is no strong foundation, no emergency fund, no real saving system, no investment plan, no debt strategy, no financial margin, no ability to absorb a bad month without panic. And the danger is that a lifestyle without a foundation feels good when life is stable, but it becomes terrifying when life changes, because the bills keep coming even when income slows down. The car payment does not care if you are stressed. The credit card balance does not care if work becomes uncertain. The rent does not care if an emergency happened. This is why financial foundations matter. They are not exciting. They do not impress people. They do not create applause, but they protect you. An emergency fund is not just money sitting in an account, it is protection against panic. Debt reduction is not glamorous, but it frees future income. Investing consistently is not dramatic, but it gives your money time to grow. Living below your means may look boring, but it gives you options, and options are a form of wealth. According to the Federal Reserve's 2025 household survey, 55% of adults said they had set aside enough money to cover 3 months of expenses if they lost their main source of income. That also means many people still do not have that cushion. And 30% of adults said they could not cover 3 months of expenses by any means. That is not just a savings statistic, that is a warning. Because when you have no foundation, every unexpected event becomes more expensive. You borrow, you pay interest, you fall behind, you rush decisions. You accept bad options because you do not have enough time or money to choose better ones. That is why the boring money steps matter. Before the upgrade, build the cushion. Before the appearance, build the foundation. Before chasing status, create stability. Because a strong foundation may not make you look rich today, but it can save your future from collapsing under pressure.
Lesson 4. Debt does not just cost money, it costs future choices. Debt is often explained as a number, the balance, the interest rate, the monthly payment. But debt is not only mathematical. Debt is emotional. Debt is psychological. Debt is future pressure. Because every debt payment is a piece of tomorrow's income already promised to yesterday's decision. That is the part many people underestimate. A credit card balance does not just take money, it takes flexibility. A car loan does not just take money, it takes options. A personal loan does not just take money, it takes breathing room. Buy now, pay later does not feel heavy when the payment is small. But when multiple small payments stack together, your future paycheck becomes crowded before you even receive it. And once your paycheck is crowded, your decisions change. You stay in a job you hate because you cannot afford instability. You delay opportunities because payments come first. You avoid risks because debt makes uncertainty dangerous. You feel anxious because even rest feels expensive. Now, not all debt is automatically bad. A mortgage can help someone own a home. A student loan can sometimes increase earning power. A business loan can create income if used carefully. But consumer debt used to fund a lifestyle is different. That kind of debt often lets people experience a reward now while sending the consequences into the future. And the future always arrives. This is why many people only understand debt after years of carrying it. At first, it feels like access. Later, it feels like a chain. At first, it feels like convenience. Later, it feels like exhaustion. At first, the payment seems manageable. Later, all the payments together become a wall. One of the most powerful things you can do financially is reduce how much of your future income is already spoken for. Because the lower your fixed obligations, the more control you have. The more control you have, the easier it becomes to save, invest, change jobs, rest, say no, and handle emergencies. Freedom does not always come from earning more. Sometimes freedom comes from owing less.
Lesson 5. Time is more important than perfect timing. A lot of people delay investing because they are waiting for the perfect moment. They wait until they earn more. They wait until the market feels safer. They wait until the economy looks better. They wait until they understand everything. They wait until they have a bigger amount. And the problem is, waiting feels responsible. It feels careful. It feels intelligent. But sometimes waiting is just fear disguised as preparation. The truth is, nobody knows the perfect time to invest. Even professionals do not consistently predict markets perfectly. But there is one advantage ordinary people can use: time. Time allows compounding to work. Time allows consistency to matter. Time allows small amounts to become meaningful. Time allows mistakes to be corrected. Time allows your money to experience market recoveries, growth, dividends, reinvestment, and patience. For example, imagine someone invests $200 a month at a hypothetical 8% average annual return. If they do that for 40 years, the future value is roughly $698,000. If they do it for 30 years instead, it is roughly $298,000. That does not mean 8% is guaranteed. It is only an illustration. But the lesson is clear. The missing 10 years can be extremely expensive because compounding needs time to become powerful. At the beginning, progress feels slow. The balance grows little by little. It may even feel disappointing. But later, the growth can become much more noticeable because returns begin building on previous returns. That is why many people underestimate investing when they are young. They look at a small monthly amount and think, this is not enough to matter. But small amounts repeated over many years can matter a lot. The same idea works in reverse too. Bad habits compound. Debt compounds. Neglect compounds. Delayed action compounds. A person who ignores money for 10 years does not just lose 10 years. They lose the growth, learning, discipline, and financial momentum those 10 years could have created. So the goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to begin wisely. Learn as you go. Start with what you can handle. Avoid reckless decisions. Stay consistent. And remember that time is one of the few financial advantages you can never get back once it is gone.
So, if there is one money lesson most people learn too late, it is this. Financial peace does not come from earning more alone. It comes from building control. Because more income can help you, but only if your habits know what to do with it. A bigger paycheck will not save you if every increase becomes a bigger lifestyle. A raise will not create freedom if it only creates bigger payments. And the good intention will not change your future if your daily habits keep pulling you in the opposite direction. That is why the foundation matters. Emergency savings, lower debt, consistent investing, simple spending habits, living below your means. These things may not look exciting from the outside. They may not impress people. They may not make you look rich today. But they slowly give you something far more valuable than appearance. They give you options. They give you breathing room. They give you the ability to handle emergencies without panic. They give you the freedom to say no. And they give your future self a life that is not constantly controlled by old decisions. Because debt is not just a number. It is tomorrow's income already promised away. And time is not just something you wait through. It is one of the most powerful financial tools you will ever have. The earlier you start making better choices, even small ones, the more time those choices have to grow. So you do not need to become perfect overnight. You do not need to become rich instantly. You do not need to impress everybody. You just need to stop building a lifestyle before building your foundation. Because one day, the quiet decisions you make today may become the reason your future feels calmer, safer, and freer. And that is real wealth. Not just looking successful, but having enough control over your life that money stops becoming a constant source of fear. If this kind of simple money breakdown helps you understand money more clearly, you can like, subscribe, and keep learning with the Money Canvas. And remember, financial peace is usually built quietly, long before anyone else notices it. Thank you for watching.